No, that's fine. Hopefully I can give you enough to work with. Oh. You could? Yeah, just got to get it to its high point so you can slowly watch me sink.
It's like Spotify stuff. That was aggressive.
Jesus Christ, yeah. Imposter by Barry Tomorrow.
Welcome, YouTube, to another exciting edition of 2c3pod, and we are here for our YouTube exclusive 2c3pod DTCR Does the Cinema. My name is Mitchell, along with my co-host
Dylan.
That's right, and we got to see a film this week.
We absolutely did, but before we get into that film,
Yes.
let's push some buttons.
Oh, do it. I want to sing. Coming at you fresh, coming from afar, it's 2c3pod DTCR. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Where else are you going to get late 20-year-old guys doing the robot?
Yeah,
but anyway,
it gets cringier every time.
I know exactly, but we have to do it.
Yes, we do.
We have to do it. It's tradition. So
Contractually
anyway,
obligated to do that.
yes,
ladies and
with
gentlemen.
with ourselves.
Yeah.
essentially. All right. So DTCR, and that stands for.
Does the cinema.
That's right. This is our weekly review segment, YouTube exclusive. That's right. Make sure to tune into the podcast, but we'll get into that at the end.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, so we got to go to the cinema last week, and we had a couple of options. There was like a old British romantic comedy, and then there was another one that's already flown straight over my head.
Yep.
And then there was also, as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, Unhinged.
The weird thing about Unhinged is that I've been getting a lot of advertisements for this film. It seems like everywhere is trying to sell the crap out of this.
Yes.
Now, obviously, cinemas need to bring in the audience. They need to bring back
of course.
The income, essentially. And this is the
Let
latest...
everyone know it's safe as well.
That's correct.
Yeah.
You know, so like this is the next big sort of Hollywood release that we're getting.
Yes.
You know, in the month of August now, or end of July, essentially.
Hollywood.
That's correct. Yeah. So to say that we're getting a big Hollywood release is kind of the same vein that we're going to go see that Mel Gibson one where it's in a storm, and we'll see how that one goes.
That's coming into by the time you're watching this review, 1 week from now in Australian cinemas, and I feel like it's going to be the film because there's not much option going around lately.
That's right. So speaking of not much option, we got to go see the film Unhinged, starring Russell Crowe and other people.
That's right. Directed by Derek Bort and written by Carl Ellsworth. This is a... How would you describe this? So it's a thriller. There's a little bit of violence, pretty consistent violence, if I may say so.
I would say it's a violent thriller that tries to teach you a very important lesson about several different things. Don't talk and drive on your phone.
Oh my God,
there was a lot of that. Don't do your makeup while you're on your phone.
Yes.
And don't honk people.
Don't honk people.
Don't honk people. I said that wrong, but don't honk people aggressively because you don't know what kind of day they've had.
That's right, exactly. And then it's your fault, ladies and gentlemen, if you honk too aggressively.
That's right.
As we learn in the film, a courtesy tap is A-okay.
That's right.
And that's all that will suffice.
At the beginning of this film, I liked the idea that this film set up the tone and the agenda straight away. There was a scene in the trailer that basically kind of it shows the kind of guy that Russell Crowe's character is and why he got there. I was expecting that moment that was opening the film, to be later on in the film.
That's right.
However, they used that to set the agenda and to give you an expectation as to this person's character.
That's right.
Essentially. And then after that scene happens, which is quite shocking, and I did quite enjoy that.
Yes.
It moves on to a young single mother named Rachel Hunter, played by Karen Pistorius.
Yes.
I haven't seen her before, but I think she did a fine job.
No relation to Oscar, by the way.
I have no idea what he's referring to.
That's right. If anybody out there gets that little nugget, you are welcome. Comment down below.
Yeah.
But, not only did you say it sets up his character, but it sets up the stage of his life where he's at that point. Because that's very important as well and becomes a recurring factor as to his mentality and what he's going through.
That's right.
And she's somewhat on the opposite spectrum, being gender-wise, going through the same thing.
That's right. So the story is trying to sort of funnel this story of two people
that's right.
going through similar kind of experiences in life who don't know each other, completely disconnected.
Yes.
Both of them are having a really rough time at the moment, and it depends on how they deal with that.
That's right.
Russell Crowe's character, though, listen,
he is credited as just the man because there's never a name mentioned for him.
That's right.
So he's just the angry man.
I keep comparing this.
All right, here we go. Because I just have to say as well, as I said last week, if this is your first review of ours, make sure to stick a like and a subscribe on that. But also, we don't discuss the film prior to our discussions.
No, that's correct.
If our opinions are the same as they were in the vigil last week, that's great. We can have a good discussion.
Yeah.
I feel like this week, though, there's a little bit of differing opinions. So,
well, we'll see. So the film itself, as we've already mentioned, it sets up these lessons to learn. You know, you shouldn't expect or assume anything that's happening on the other side of a person's mind. Yeah, you know, because they could be going through whatever. So they're both.
It could happen to anyone.
It could happen to anybody, and the whole theme is road raging. So essentially, this man sets out on a fucking warpath because he's just given up against this woman who was seemingly innocent and was pissed off in her own right. And it comes to teaching her a lesson about this while her young son is in the car. Yeah. In terms of the film, though, I think the pacing itself was fine. I think the shots were fine. I like the idea that the frame of the film being set somewhere in the morning and then it goes all the way through with the weather is one thing I was most impressed with when I look at the film cinematically. Yes. Like there was no shots where like the weather was different, even though the entire thing was like filmed and set in like a kind of a small town somewhere in the middle of America.
A small town, big city.
That's right.
Because of all the traffic, because that played a key point to like her and her leading up to the beginning of her day, like as in, not really a spoiler, but she loses a big client kind of thing, Yeah, the son's late for school and he's going to get detention and
it's all about being late in traffic.
That's right. But film-wise, though, I've got no issues with the film in the way it was shot and the way the story progressed as well. I thought they did a really good job of telling very little fine details that you could easily just skip over, but then play a role later kind of thing, like as in the continuity of things and explaining something now just in passing and then it plays a part down the road, I've got no issues with the way that played out. But I've got to say, I think I enjoy chubby Russell Crowe.
See, I'm on the opposite spectrum.
I had a feeling.
I look at this man and I keep comparing this to Rambo. Okay. I look at the two characters in the films that they're playing in. So the latest Rambo, Last Blood, and this film, they're very similar in a lot of ways. They're both on a warpath, a violent warpath. Yes. You've got Sylvester Stallone, who's known for being kind of a muscly, aggressive kind of guy throughout his entire career. Yeah. Russell Crowe was almost kind of like that. This man played Gladiator, remember?
I know.
And now he's like, I know he's supposed to be playing the everyman, but I just can't get past the fact that this dude has let himself go so bad. All you would need to do to this guy is trip him over and game over.
No way,
like,
dude.
I didn't find Russell Crowe's portrayal of the aggressive man intimidating whatsoever. I just couldn't buy into it. That's all.
Okay, no, that's fair enough. But if you want to compare it to Rambo, Last Blood, this is way more realistic. Way more realistic in the sense that, like, Rambo... I mean, Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, I get that.
He was struggling in that so badly. In, it was uncomfortable
and Russell
to watch.
Crowe was struggling to breathe in this one.
Yeah, but they played that perfectly. They gave him an out with all the pills he had to pop and stuff. He had heart issues and stuff, so they played into that. So it wasn't like, oh my God, this fat bastard can't even walk and he's perfectly a healthy male. Like, he was having issues. And he said, there's a line in here, suicide by cops is fine by me. This was a dude who was at the wit's end. He didn't care. He was going to die that day, or he was going to kill as many people as he could before he got arrested. Yeah. Didn't bother him at all. He was just done with the world. Yep. And I think that he played it well. I really do.
That's fair enough.
I really do.
I don't think he did. I just couldn't buy into it. That's all.
No, that's fair. That's fair. But I mean, he's an Oscar winner, bro. He knows how to act. Come on. No, but I didn't have an issue with this film. I thought it was very serviceable for what it was.
And that's exactly what it was. It was serviceable. Yeah, listen, I agree that it's a kind of a not even cheesy, just a popcorn film. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. We've talked about this in the past on our podcast. Links are all down below where you can switch your brain off and have a good time. But I just felt this movie was trying to teach too many lessons. There was so much dialogue that doesn't happen in real life about road raging and about being on your phone and all this sort of stuff. All these ideas that a lot of people have that nobody ever actually says. And then there's this, this overweight man who's just on a warpath. I just couldn't buy into the fact that Russell Crowe has gotten to this point. Yeah. And I didn't fucking like this movie. I didn't like it going into it. Okay. And I tried to lift my spirits a bit. You talked me into it last week, and after watching
Don't blame me. Don't blame me. We didn't have any options last week. We had to choose this.
But after watching this, I thought, I thought this was crap.
Okay, no, that's
my final opinion on this movie.
That's totally fine. I think you're, in my opinion, I think you're too focused on, like, trying to teach people lessons. I did not walk out of there going, oh man, they really tried to force that point.
I thought they did. And
I understand that because, like, thinking about it more and diving deeper into it, but I just walked out and went, oh yeah, wasn't bad. I did not once give it a second thought as to maybe I shouldn't beep my horn. Maybe I shouldn't be on my phone, So you being I'm not going to say you're a professional, but but you analyze films critically, I think you've pulled it apart too much. I think I did successfully switch my brain off, and I had a good time. You
know
what I mean?
Watch it again and switch your brain on.
Yeah, and overanalyze it.
Overanalyze it. Yeah.
No, but personally, I had a good time, and I can see that people enjoying this film in the theaters. And I think it was a serviceable thriller. All for the purpose of the final line right before somebody dies.
What was the final line there?
I don't want to say it because I don't want to ruin it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it was about the whole courtesy tap. I don't
remember it.
Wow, so memorable. But in my opinion, no, I think this is a decent film. I could get behind Russell Crowe being a murderous, everyday, chubby man.
The bad guy.
Exactly. I could see him being an evil dude, and he was fucking vicious in this, like in the moments where he had the chance to be.
That's the thing. Like, he's played villains in films before.
Oh, no, absolutely. But I don't know. Maybe it's because I was like, I'm fitter than Russell Crowe. Maybe that was why I was okay with this. But there was one particular death, my apologies, that I absolutely loved. And it was when he went to her house, but she wasn't home and 2 other people were.
Yep.
And do you remember that death with the girlfriend? My God! I'm trying to piece.
That's the thing. Like, I fucking hated this movie, so I'm trying to piece it together.
No, that's fine.
I know that the other person in the film at that moment didn't die.
Yeah, that's right. There was one who died.
Oh, yes. Sorry. He fought. That's another thing.
I liked that.
There's another moment.
That was a good death.
Another aspect of this film that I did enjoy, and I will say this, and I didn't expect this going into it. It's like, yes, fair enough. Russell Crowe's character does kill a few people.
Yes,
but there are more deaths in this film, not involved directly by him.
Yeah,
they're caused by him, but he didn't indirectly do them.
Yeah,
and I thought that was quite neat.
Yeah,
but I also kind of think, well, maybe maybe I would have enjoyed it a bit more if it was played off like this guy is wanting to kill these people. Yeah, but he was only going after these very specific characters. And I get that. I get what they were trying. I just couldn't buy into it. And overall, as you've mentioned, it's a good popcorn flick. You know, depending on the way you're looking at this, if you walk into this film with an open mind, you may enjoy the kind of film that it is. Yeah. I just couldn't buy into it going into it, and that's my experience.
No, that's fair, and that's completely relatable. It's always... honestly, going to the cinema is just a good experience at this point. So it doesn't matter whether
the bar is pretty fucking low.
The bar is pretty fucking low. And if you're a regular listener of the podcast, this week's currently Yasal Pass. It's going to be a rough one.
Yeah, right.
No, I think the element of him causing deaths without indirectly focusing on that person to die kind of thing, I think that added an element where he stated to her, I'm going to show you a bad fucking day. And I thought he was great, like with his delivery of like aggression.
Yeah.
Like I really did think he did well in my opinion, but that's just me. But anyway...
That's been our review of Unhinged.
Did you want to chuck a rating on this?
I'm going to give this a 2 out of 20.
Oh, okay. So 1 out of 10. Dear Lord. Yeah, I'm going to do fractions.
What's your rating?
My rating.
What's your fraction?
Yeah, I'm going to give it 6 smoke alarms out of 10 bongs. Okay,
wow,
so it wasn't. Yeah, exactly. It did its job.
So it's not lighting up the flames, but it is kind of getting you there.
That's right, exactly. But the fire department may be called.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means. But anyway, yes.
Thank you for watching this review. Leave your comments down below what you thought of Unhinged. If you saw it, if you didn't. Thank God.
My name is.
You can find the links to all of our podcast links down below.
Yes, but before you leave, make sure to smack a like on this video and hit subscribe. Ring the bell for notifications. We have a new review coming every damn week.
Most importantly, find us on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and of course, YouTube. Big Summer Blowout. My name is Dylan, and as always, with my co-host
Mitchell. And thank you for tuning in. We are Two's Company, and you are the podcast.